Hello everyone, welcome back to the White One Auto YouTube channel. And what we have in here today is a 2008 Cadillac Escalade engine. It is a 6.2 and it has seen better days. But better days are still more to come, because by the end of this video, you will see this thing running on our engine stand being controlled by a Holley Terminator X. So our goal with this thing is to just kind of mimic how if you were to get a used engine out of a vehicle, the steps that you would go through. So as you can see, this engine has had some work done to it. You know, it's got the orange RTV there. It's got the orange RTV there. It's got it there. So we are going to assess the current condition of the engine and only repair things that are necessary to make it reliable to run. So our first step was we mounted the engine to our engine stand and then we cleaned it up. So our next step is going to be to remove all of the unnecessary components. Those components are like all of this old wiring, because we won't need this because we're going to use a Holley Terminator X to run it. As well as we are going to remove these exhaust manifolds, the old spark plugs, and we will also take off the valve covers and the engine oil pan to get a look better at the internals, and probably remove the valley cover just to see how everything looks. So let's get started. Okay, so now we are ready to get down to the nitty gritty, and we will see what the inside of this thing looks like. Hopefully no broken push rods, no broken valve springs, hopefully just good old LS goodness. Just looks like we do have a aftermarket valve cover gasket. It's pretty nasty on the inside, but nothing looks broken, so that is very promising. So let's come over here to our other side. Let's see. So this seems very, very promising. Nothing is broken here, so we most likely will not have to pull a head off. So this is extremely promising. So next, we will pull our intake off, and then probably our valley cover, just to get a look down there. Well, I'm pretty sure this has been replaced before too, so we got our O-rings there. What I was trying to do is get a look down at the camshaft and see how that looks, just to see if we can see anything obvious. And we can. So the lobes on the cam definitely have some wear, but from what we can see right now, the lobes we can see, the very few, they look okay. So I am super happy about that. So now our next step is going to be is we're going to roll the engine over. So now let's start getting this oil pan off. Lobe is over here. And then this just slides off. So now we'll start getting our the amount of silicone on this oil pan. We're probably going to need some assistance from a pry bar to get this thing off, because there is a ton. Huh. This is the spot where we got a ton of silicone in there. I mean, just a ton. It's you can see in there. That is no good. So now we'll get some assistance in pulling this thing off. So let's look. Let me pull this off of the stand. So inside of our pan, there's just sludge. I would think that there to be pretty normal. So next we're gonna pull our pickup off and our windage tray to get a look at our rod bolts underneath. Be mindful not to drop that bolt. Now we swap to a 13. And this thing can come off. That looked like a factory oil pump O-ring. And this looks like it hasn't been disturbed before, so that is a good thing. So let's get our windage tray off. And all of this looks good. So I believe we got a pretty decent little LS engine here. I'm happy about this thing. Still got plugs in it, so that's why. We're gonna put our pin in our post. Got good compression. So that is good. The oil pump's still pumping oil. You can see, let me zoom in. So you'll see, you should see oil coming out of this hole right here. That's because remember our oil pump is crank driven off the front. So that is good. So we are very happy with our engine. So our next step will be is we will pull off our flywheel and get our rear cover off, because wait, actually it doesn't look like the rear cover was probably leaking. It's probably just the oil pan. So you know what? I'm not gonna pull that rear cover or the flywheel off. I'm gonna clean up everything that we will reuse, which is our valve covers, our valley cover, our oil pan, our windage tray, and our pickup. I will clean up all of that stuff. We will get new valve cover gaskets and a new oil pan gasket. I'll take a better look at that rear cover, and then we'll start prepping this thing to get it on the engine stand so we can make some noise. I believe we can use these injectors, but I need to try to get a part number off of them and see, because the Terminator X only uses high impedance injectors, so we need to verify that. But throwing an oil filter on here, we'll roll it over. Well, wait. Yeah, let us put an oil filter on. We won't tighten it down. So I can prime the oil filter, and yeah, so we're just using a Wix Racing. That's our part number there. So I can prime it once we roll the motor over. So we have our swap oil pan on. Now it's time to clean up this top part, put our valve covers back on. There really isn't much to clean. We just need to kind of wipe this off, although it is pretty cruddy here. Get that out of there. You just want to kind of wipe some of this off because it was upside down when we were putting our oil pan on. So we can clean this up and then continue. Hello everyone, this is White One Auto, and we're checking in again today. As you can see, we have our engine run stand and we have an LS on our engine run stand. So this is a 6.2. Let's get in there so you can see it. It is an LS 6.2 aluminum block out of a Cadillac Escalade. It's a used engine that we got from one of our suppliers as a core, but like how you saw earlier in the video, when we removed the oil pan and the valve covers and stuff, it looked like a pretty good engine. It has some oil leaks, so we put a swap oil pan on it. Just so we can run it on the stand. We still have the original oil pan because we're going to run it because we think it's a good engine. We think we might actually got a blessing this time in an engine that was supposed to be a core. We believe it's a good runner. We removed the oil pan, the valley cover, and the valve covers, and it is good. We do believe. So what we're going to do is walk you through how we would set this thing up. You can see we are running a Terminator X Max on this thing to control it. We have a TankSync fuel tank on the ground to give it fuel. We have some Holley swap headers with some extensions and a pair of Flowmaster mufflers. So our engine run stand is set up. It does have a fan on it. We are gonna run a mechanical throttle body just for this time because we didn't want to have to hook up a throttle pedal. So it's pretty much just a basic little swap here. So what we're gonna do is run through the setup wizard. So hopefully we can do that for everyone. You can see how easy it is. And then immediately after doing the setup wizard, we're gonna give power to our fuel pump. And then you will see this thing make smoke. We will have oil pressure. So this thing will be running. So let's do it. So right now, our power is off on our engine run stand, so let's power it up. So you can see it came on, our handheld is on. So now we need to run the wizard on this thing because it's not set up. Let me get rid of that glare. Okay, so we're gonna go into the wizard. Wizard, GCF. So what are we? Try to get. Yes, so we're in LS, we're running multi-port, GMLS, whoa. GMLS number of 8, yes. Cubic inch, so you can tap in there and we'll enter 3, 7, 6. Oh, and that did not go as planned, let's clear. 3, 7, 6. So that is, so you see we're running, we got 376 in there. So we'll hit save. Next. Target idle speed, we'll just say 700. So we got target idle speed. Let me see if we can adjust this thing here to get. So target idle speed 700. And we have a factory camshaft. It is a 58X. We're running 60 pounds of fuel pressure. Injectors, we're using GM injectors. It's a 681 injector. We have no power adder. We're using a LS3 style internal map sensor. Drive-by-wire, no. GM LSX, yes. Transmission control, no. So it's creating the config there. And it's saying we need to cycle the ignition. So let's do that. So we'll turn it off. So cut it back on. It's running. So we should have to do a TPS auto set. Exchange start, yeah. So we'll do that. And then next says that was done. So we should be ready to fire up. So let's bring up. Let me try. We're using this start button right here. So let us see. Get the crank in. And she fired right up. So we got a good runner here. These throttle bodies are always loud. That's that. But you don't have any oil leaks. So we are looking okay here. Like I say, this is just our base Holley tune here. We haven't done anything to it. Let me see, can we get our sensors? What does our oil pressure look like? I'm not sure if our alternator is charging here. It should be. I want to take a look at that. Let me pause it right quick and make sure our alternator's charged. So we are running good. I was trying to show oil pressure. Let me get back. So here's our oil pressure screen. We're warming up saying 39 pounds. We had 39 pounds of oil pressure. So that is good. This thing is running well. We are very, very happy with this. This engine is a good runner. Yeah. Okay, everybody, so I'm coming back because I didn't like the way I ended that video with a bunch of excuses. We hooked our alternator up. We've had it running for a little while more. Now you can better see. So that's battery, that's oil pressure, coolant temperature, and air fuel. So let's fire it up. Now, you know, our coolant temperature is about 173 degrees. We're still idling good. Our air fuel is decent. Our alternator is working. Remember, this here is just your base tool from Holley. All we did was set this thing up in the Wizard, and it's running. We do have a good fuel system on it. We're getting 60 pounds of fuel pressure. We know exactly what injectors we have in this thing. It is running well off of that base tool because the foundation is good. We have a good electrical system on this thing. Our power wires are going straight back to the battery. We have relays on everything else. You know, it's running well on the stand because it's a good engine, and we knew what we had, and we were able to put the correct information in. I mean, we're not running a set of eBay injectors where we have no idea what the injector data is, so we'll guess what somebody told us on a forum is close to get us going. I mean, I know I constantly harp on that, but it's true. A lot of the vehicles I see here have problems are just simple things. And if you can remember from our teardown back here where our oil pan, this thing was full of RTV, and we're not getting any leak there. But we actually thought we might have had a rear main seal problem, but I believe that thing is fine. It's just it was just leaking from the oil pan. So this is one good runner of an engine here. It is ready to go, 6.2. If you want it, it can be yours. Because we just got our engine stand set up so we can check any used engine and then verify all the new ones that we build. You see our coolant temperatures came back down. We're at 170. We've got a small fan on here and a huge radiator. This thing took about 5 gallons. No, not 5. It took about 3.5 to 4 gallons of coolant to get the radiator and the engine full. And we used our vacuum filler, our airlift, to do that. So we got good oil pressure. Good. I mean, the thing is running fine. It is a good running engine. And you also got to remember, because we didn't have an extra one in stock, we don't have our fuel pressure hooked up or our manifold temperature sensor hooked up. So a base tool from Holley will get you to your tuner. As long as you have a good fuel system and a solid running engine, and you input the correct information into the Terminator X, that'll get you to your tuner. So, hey, thank you to everybody for following along. And please remember to continue to like, subscribe, and comment. And next time, hopefully we'll have something a little bit better than just a regular old aluminum block 662 on here. Maybe we'll get something a little beefed up. White One Auto out.